My ex unalived herself 4 years ago. I'm not over it. I had a lovely ex. Her name was Julia. She originally hailed from Maryland, and was a student here in NYC. We met in February 2015 through OkCupid. I took the train all the way from Brooklyn to somewhere in Manhattan, to this rundown apartment she shared for a brief time with a messy roommate. Imagine it. There was a mattress somehow pointed at the ceiling. Her mattress was on the floor. It was a ramshackle place. I don't remember too much of the night, sadly. We smoked weed. Talked. And I forget now who made the first move, was it she or I? I think it was me. A kiss, and I asked if that was okay. Yes. We made love on her mattress, on the floor. We got high again, and fell asleep in each other's arms. We awoke early the next morning and I went and bought her breakfast from some really expensive, but probably cheap compared to today, place around the corner, big glass windows and doors. We ate and I guess we exchanged information. Julia didn't believe in boyfriends, she was a free spirit. She wasn't shackled to the idea of a relationship. We agreed to hang out and be friends with benefits. The months progressed and she would spend nights at my house. We would go to bars, to museums, on adventures across the city. She was many things. She was a freelance journalist. She was a deep soul, and an expressive thinker. She was an artist, she was a rebel. She found beauty in music, in the written word, but also in simple things. She was a devotee of David Bowie. She was addicted to Beach House. She loved countercultures. Julia was someone who would have been more at home in the 60s or 70s, I think. Julia also would try any drug once. She had tried every drug except meth, I think. Heroin, snorted, and ketamine, Klonopin, and NyQuil were her favorites. But Julia was one of those people who could try anything and not become addicted. I was never a drug user myself, but she'd get high with me, but she never once pushed me to also use. She was also troubled in her soul. She often spoke of death. Of self-destruction. Of not making 30. She was certain she'd die before 30. She talked at times of shotgun goodbyes, in a joking manner. I was young myself, so I figured it was just quarter-life angst. She hid the depths of her despair well, behind a smile and an infectious laugh. Julia, despite her rules, and I fell in love. We agreed to become boyfriend and girlfriend, and I became the first man she honored with that title. But we fought. Her drug use bordered on excessive at times and she took risk to get them. I was also an angry young man dealing with my own demons, not then the easiest to deal with. There was a deep and beautiful love between us, but it was turbulent because we were both young and lost in our own separate ways. I firmly believe, given my memory of our relationship and our personalities, that had we met at a more mature age we would have ended up married. Or at least in a long-term loving relationship. After 3 years of an on and off affair, Julia and I separated and ceased talking on bad terms. I said something I will forever regret. We never spoke again. A year later, in 2019, her best friend, whom I knew well, who was like a sister to her, died suddenly of an overdose, and I believe Julia was never the same after, from what I've been told. Finally, in 2020, Julia took her own life. She was 29. Sadly, her prediction of never reaching 30 came so tragically true. Ever since then not a day has gone by that I don't wish we could simply talk once more. I think of our fights. I think of the days we made love. I think of the days we journeyed all over NYC. Most of all, what I think of is a deep wish that we could meet at a classy cafe and have coffee. Talk. Reminisce. Laugh. She could giggle at how gray my hair has gotten. But more importantly, that I could apologize. And also explain how much she meant. How much her life gave to the world. How much life could have given her in turn, if she'd only stuck around just a bit longer. Julia will be forever frozen in time as a beautiful young woman with red hair and striking blue eyes. A kind smile and a pale face. She'll never grow old. But, forever, she'll be missed. For those who think of hurting themselves or who are convinced that it is the solution to your despair, I implore you, you have so much to offer, but also, life has so much good in store to offer you. Stay. Please.